we are going to dive much deeper into the type tool right here, shortcut letter T, in the future. But the one thing I want you to understand is the difference between area type and point type. We will be using point type 90% of the time, if not more. Area type is what most students think of as a text box, because in PowerPoint, you draw a text box when you want to add text, right? Well, Illustrator's not PowerPoint. When you draw a text box, Illustrator fills in this body copy and lets you know visually this is for paragraphs. And I really wish Illustrator would add the paragraph breaks so you could actually see, hey, this is for paragraphs. Then if you get the black arrow, hey, where'd our text go? See this little plus sign here? This little red plus sign? That means there's more text in this box. And see how the text flows? This is for paragraphs. Don't draw a text box, area type, unless you intend to work with paragraphs of text. Do you understand? In here, we're going to work with something called point type, which means you just click. You don't click and drag. Just click and type your heading, the name of your business, whatever it is. And then when you get your black arrow and you want to resize this, please, please, please don't stretch things. Don't squish things. Don't do that. Hold down Shift if you're going to grab that corner. I'm going to undo that. And with that selected, you don't have to select it with the type tool. You can select it with the black arrow. And then you can change the font size here. And you don't disturb the horizontal or vertical relationship of this text. That right here you can see this is the character panel. You can find it here. It's under Window Character. You don't ever want to change the vertical scale or horizontal scale. You want these to be 100%. There are times when we break this rule, but 99% of the time we're not doing that. We're leaving this at 100%. And if you ever notice that, I needed it shorter and not pick a different font if that's the case, because you don't want to do this. You want this at 100%. You got it? So there's a lot more to this, but just know you want to use this text tool. And if I hit delete there and then I click over here and hit delete, here's a little gotcha that many students run into. When you select everything, you're going to notice, hey, what's that? What's that? That's where you click to add point type, and then you hit delete thinking you were getting rid of it, but what you left was the point. You left the point behind. And so you need to delete that so you don't have these stray points all around. You got that? There's a lot more to talk about with the difference between point type and area type, but just know, don't use the text tool and draw what you think of as a text box in order to add text, right? Hey, look, it doesn't look the same. That's because Illustrator remembers the last setting, which was 120 points. You got it? This is still a paragraph. And if we resize it, the text is going to flow. Got it? And that's not something you want to have happen with a heading.